All right, guys, welcome back. Now we're going to take a look at another pillar of OOP called inheritance. Now, inheritance exists in other programming languages as well, but in JavaScript, it's a little bit different because JavaScript uses what's called prototypal inheritance. And we'll talk about what prototypes are and how they work in conjunction with inheritance later on. But right now, all you need to know is that in JavaScript, inheritance means the ability of an object to access or borrow properties and methods from other objects. And again, this is possible due to prototyping, which we will talk about later. All right, so that's what inheritance means, but how does it actually look in code and how does it work? Okay, let's take a look. All right, so in my console, I'm gonna define an array literal, just holding the values 1, 2, and 3. Now, as we all know, arrays come with some methods like map, every, filter, and so on. But where do these methods come from? And what is storing them? Because we didn't define them. Okay, so if we take a look at ARR, we see a collection of ordered key value pairs. Yep, but then we see this thing, the prototype. Okay, so in JavaScript, a prototype is an object that allows its children, right, to borrow its properties and or methods. So if we click on this, we see concat, entries, filter, map, flat map for each. All of the array methods that we know and love live on the array prototype itself. Okay. Now, if you go all the way down, you see that even the prototype itself has another prototype. And this is the object base. Okay. If we take a look at this, we get some other properties like has own property method. Okay. ToString method is prototype of method. Okay. So now that we know all of that, what happens internally when we call something like the map method? So when we do that, JavaScript takes a look at the array itself. It's checking here, hey, do you have a function or method named map? No? All right, now I would check your parent or the prototype of array, the array prototype. And that's where it's going to find the map method and then run it. Okay? So the map method lives on the array prototype. It does not live on the array. Okay? Now, what happens if we call something that's on the object prototype, like has own property? The same thing happens. JavaScript looks at an array, cannot find it, goes to the array prototype, cannot find it, then it goes to that prototype's prototype, which is the object base. And that's where it's going to find it. Okay? Now, I know that this is a very superficial introductory to inheritance and prototypes, but in a very simplified way, this is how it actually works under the hood. Now, later on, we will take a much deeper dive into inheritance and prototypes, and we can talk about checking prototypes, replacing prototypes if we need to, and a bunch of other things, okay? But right now, that should be good. All right, I'll see you in the next one.